They
They
did. I
just
missed
did.
it. I
Oh,
know.
Jesus. The Odyssey will have to be seen in theaters. Like, there's no other way. I don't know what the Odyssey is going to be about. I mean, I know it's about the Odyssey, but I don't know like what part they're going to choose because that's an epically long story. But I don't know why they chose. Why did he put that guy? Why did he put Benny Safdie as like the mega Spartan? What's up with that? Do you know what I'm talking about, Evan, or no? Do
No,
you even know who
no.
Benny Safdie is? By
I
the
know
way,
who.
have you
Oh,
seen
I
Uncut
know.
Gems?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen Uncut Gems. That's a good movie.
Okay. So I just found out that that Jewish guy that yelled, Where's my money?" You may have seen it
Yeah,
on the news.
yeah.
He's in that movie.
Oh, oh, wow. That's so funny.
Yeah, he's like one of the characters. Like he's because I guess it's
Yeah.
all really it's supposed to be
You like
47th Street. Yeah.
what are your thoughts on Yorgos Lanthimos? Have you seen any of his movies?
Oh Jesus, who's that?
He did a Dogtooth, Killing of a Sacred Deer, The Lobster, Poor
Oh,
Things,
I've seen
Kinds
them.
of
I've seen them.
Kindness.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I love his movies. Like his movies are weird and unpredictable and strange. And I just saw Begonia in theaters, and I thought that was
Which is the one
fantastic.
with Which is the one with Colin Farrell?
He's in a
Killing of
bunch.
a Deer.
He's in several of his movies. Colin Farrell is in Killing of a Sacred Deer. That's the one about like the weird teenager.
Yes,
That did you like that? I love that. I thought that was
I did
great.
like it, but it was weird,
It's
man.
so weird. It's so
It was
weird.
funny though.
Yeah, it's a great dark comedy. He also The Lobster is quite good, but his new movie that just came out, Begonia, is fantastic. I thought it was so good. It's about these two like it's about this kind of hickish rural guy who works at like an what's basically an Amazon warehouse. Um, and he's like super into like alien conspiracy theories, and he lives with his like mentally challenged cousin, and he and his cousin kidnap the CEO of the company that he works for because he's convinced that she is an alien sent to Earth to destroy it.
Oh wow.
So he kidnaps the CEO and basically holds her hostage. You know,
Oh
trying to.
yes, yes, yes. I did see that. Yeah, I do want to see that.
You should see it. That was quite good. I really loved it.
The trailer made it feel like that was almost Oscar worthy for her.
I think it could have been. I mean, her performance was excellent.
I
But
mean, the Oscars.
Emma Stone is great.
Why
Yeah,
the fuck are there three Anons in this fucking room?
because that's who I am. I got fans, bro.
Or you get
Um,
stalkers?
Bro, no, it's not. All of them are what's his fucking name? All of them are John recording.
Yeah, let's go check
All
his.
of
Let's go check his YouTube.
yo, yeah, Emma Stone is great. I just saw her after a rewatch of Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, which you will
Oh.
never watch because that's a mainstream, pure like Hollywood for money film.
Yeah, not well, I like I like some like mainstream movies or whatever. Like I watched you know what movie I think is really good when I watched it have you seen Catherine Bigelow's Near Dark?
No.
It's a Western vampire movie,
Oh
but
wow.
it's like a modern Western. It is a contemporary Western that is a vampire movie.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I saw The Lost Boys too. I thought that was a good movie. Um,
Uh
have you seen Happiness? That's a fucking weird one.
Nope.
no.
Okay, weirdly, it's not him. He's live streaming like six other rooms,
Oh,
but
dude, if you want a movie that will actually
No,
make you
it's
like,
Abby, Bussy, and Nora. Is who it is.
dude, if you want a
probably.
movie, when I was watching Schwartz's or Schultz, whatever his name is, 1999 film Happiness with Philip Seymour Hoffman, I cringed so hard I got
Oh,
a cramp in my stomach. I actually like it was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. I actually don't know if I can rewatch. I mean, I'll probably will rewatch the movie. I did buy it. I blind bought the
That,
4K of it. But
that's who I
oh
was thinking
god,
of earlier. You basically love everything with Philip Seymour Hoffman. Then
I do like Philip Seymour Hoffman. I really I do need to see The Master. That's a movie that is very high on my list of movies that I want to see. Um, the PTA movie. Um, But yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman's good. I actually I wonder, I kind of want Letterboxd Premium so I can see the stats. Like it'll tell you like who your most watched actor is and like stuff like that. Like that to me sounds kind of cool. I kind of want to know that. Um
did you ever watch Boogie Nights?
yeah, yeah, I actually I actually I recently I saw that like this year or last year they did a screening in 35 millimeter film of it. And
And what
I
did
think
you?
that's a very good movie.
Yeah, it's it's very. I don't know another film like it. I don't know what you would compare it to, but it's how can you watch Boogie Nights though, but not watch
You
Top Gun? Fuck it.
you know, like I thought Boogie Nights was kind of a weird movie when I first watched it, but then I don't know if you guys remember the part. I guess it's middle of the movie, or maybe towards the end, when it starts getting dark, where
Yeah, where
like
he
the
goes out.
world starts
Oh
falling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's when I realized I was watching something very important. I don't know what it was about that. How it just kind of like the magic is gone, and like
That's a great
You
way to
mean you
describe what
mean
happened.
yeah,
you mean when he gets sick of watching his wife get fucked by other people and goes out to the cop to get the gun out of the glove box?
Yeah.
Yeah, was that the turning point of the film?
No, that was a good part of it.
yeah,
Yeah, Mark
and the black
Wahlberg.
guy goes and robs the donut shop and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Have you
that's when I knew I was watching an important film.
that's a
That's all I can say. You know.
that is a good one.
Yeah,
Have you
it's not a simple film, like you might imagine it to be.
And
Just
yeah.
a
No,
dark
it's
tale.
also,
complex.
when
The
I was
characters are
listening to
very complex.
when I was watching the little fireworks with the Asian guy and the Jesse's girl playing, that's also when I was like, there's something like genius and very unnerving happening here. You know
That
what I'm
movie
talking
has
about?
magic. That movie has the sauce. I
Yeah.
I I agree. Do you and if you want something that yeah, Happiness is such a fucking crazy movie. Do you know what it's about?
No.
So it is about it's one of those movies that kind of follows a few different kind of character paths. Like there's multiple character stories and they're kind of disconnected from each other until the end.
Like
And
Traffic.
they're all like it follows kind of like three main characters who are all kind of like sexual degenerates in one way or another. uh, like Philip Seymour Hoffman is like this like loser sex pest who literally just like calls up random women in the phone book and sexually harasses them. and and one of the characters is this like suburban dad who's a like a therapist and he's also a pedophile and he's like kind of trying to like conceal this from his family and whatnot and like fighting to act on it. And then the third one is I forget what she is, but she is also like a freak in her own way. But it is just like it is so uncomfortable. I actually like words cannot describe how unpleasant this movie. And it's a comedy too. It's a dark comedy. It's so dark, and it's just it's a I'd say like a masterclass in like dramatic irony of like there's
What's it
these.
called?
It's called Happiness. I don't think it's available to stream anywhere.
I'm gonna put it on Letterbox.
I literally
On
don't
my
think you
watch
can
list.
stream it anywhere. You could buy the Criterion though, or there is like a lot of movies that are quite disturbing. They don't get picked up for like streaming and shit. So there is a website called effedupmovies.com that does have a lot of that does have a lot of these movies to stream if you're
Wow.
interested. But I'd always prefer to.
Wow.
by them. But yeah, that's where I watched like a Serbian film and like that kind of
But
stuff.
by the way, every time I'm like, this is a movie that my letterboxed friend, not you, Evan, but this other guy, will not have watched. There's his review.
Oh,
He's
he
already
wa- he
watched it and
watched he
started
watched
it.
Happiness. He watched Happiness.
Yeah, yeah. This guy, and
What did he give it?
he gave it 4 stars.
Yeah, I think I might have given it 4 stars too. I think I gave it four.
Yes, you did. Yes, you gave it 4 stars. Yep.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's so
that's
fucking
insane.
it's so disturbing. It's like, oh my god, it is. Do you
Wow.
think
You
you're
know
gonna do you think
what's
do you think you're gonna watch it, or can I tell you like one
no,
scene from the
dude.
movie?
No, I'm gonna watch it. I'm
You're
not
gonna
like
watch it?
I'm not against watching movies that even I might not like. I want to watch it. I just want to be able to talk about, especially like to I like to try to understand why something worked for someone else and it didn't work for me. Like that's I like that dynamic.
Yeah.
Um,
You got to rewatch Mulholland Drive. I
I
think
know.
you're missing so much. The fact that you did not like Mulholland Drive, like that movie
Yeah,
has so much going on. And it's so interesting, and if you get over like the confusion of it, it's but I think Empire might be my favorite of his movies. There has to be something that we've both seen and both really
dude. We
like.
have to ask you if since I know all the American films, we have to ask the closest thing to a European we have here, which is Tim. About like Tim, have you seen Bloody Sunday?
No.
But you know who's in it?
Daniel Day Lewis.
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong movie. Which is okay. Hang on.
No.
But I wonder if on Letterboxd if there's a way for me to like look at your profile and see what we've both watched. Like, is that like a
Yeah,
is that is
that
that like a is
that
that like
should
a
be it.
Okay, sorry, James Nesbitt. Is that who you're thinking of? Paul
Who's the
Guggenheim still for this?
who's the bad guy in it?
In 2002, is this what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the old, like the '80s movie.
Yeah, it's a 2002 one.
Oh, there is a way to sort by that.
Oh,
We've
okay.
we've watched a decent amount of the same movies on Letterboxd.
Is it called Bloody Sunday?
Hang on.
J-
I might be wrong on the movie.
Oh, you
It's
gave The
something
Substance
Sunday.
2.5. I thought The Substance was better than that.
Yeah, I couldn't do it,
I didn't
man.
like Civil War either. I wasn't a huge fan. I thought it was better than one. I didn't think it was a 1 star movie,
I
but it annoyed me.
I
That
thought the
movie.
last
Yeah,
scene, like literally the last 10 seconds of the movie, were awesome because that song was
no,
great.
I genuinely was angered by watching that film.
Okay, we both thought Drive was good. You've seen 8 millimeter, which is a little bit of a deep cut.
Yeah,
Um,
I've even seen.
bro, you gave Deadpool versus Wolverine a 3. That's like one of the shittiest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Gave Poor Things 2.5. I like Poor Things more
They
than
had
that.
they had okay. Look, the thing about the Deadpool versus Wolverine is it's a bad movie, but it has some of the best jokes. Meaning, like,
No, bro,
so
like what do you mean? Like it has like a million
look,
fucking dick and ball jokes. Like how many
no,
dick
no,
and ball jokes are you
those are
gonna laugh at?
terrible. Those are terrible.
Okay.
But you're right. It's horrendous. But all those terrible jokes. Where listen to this. Listen to this. All those terrible jokes are made up for by the single joke where they're all hanging out in a dead Ant-Man skull, and he says, "Wow, Paul Rudd finally aged." Like
Oh,
that.
that was a funny one.
That
That
was
was,
a
but
fucking
I
funny
almost,
joke, dude.
I almost felt like the movie knew it was shit. Like the movie was making jokes about how many dick and balls jokes it was
Who's in
making.
this film? Like, were they just doing it for a payday?
I'm
What the
like,
fuck
I'm
is
like
this
They
the
were
film?
just doing
movies.
it for payday.
I'm like the
What is
movies
this
like
fucking film?
It's
Deadpool versus Wolverine. It was horrible. It was
Okay.
genuinely one of the worst. It might be like the lowest rated movie. Tim, you should get Letterboxd, by the way. I will follow you on Letterboxd if you get Letterboxd.
Can I
yeah.
just share, by the way, you've reminded me, like, I was watching a random YouTube video, nothing to do with films, and I heard the most dad joke that I like still makes me laugh. Like I've never obviously this is a thing, right? And some girl in the video is like saying something that's just hormonal. And a guy just like this guy's been waiting his whole life, as I will be, to deliver this, right? And he turns around and he says, "Do you know how to make a hormone?"
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
I was like, because it took me a
Yeah.
split second.
Yeah, but
I
that's
was
the
laughing so fucking
well,
hard.
that's
Like that
the
guy's
joke
been
of
waiting his whole life just to go, "Do you know how to make
yeah.
a
What's the difference?
hormone?"
What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone?
Oh fuck. Oh,
What, what's the difference?
Oh, you can't make an enzyme, but you sure can make a hormone. Yeah.
Hey, Tim, I was wrong about the movie's called The Long Good Friday with Bob Hoskins.
Oh, I know that movie.
I haven't watched it, but I have the 4K and I intend to. And I'm
oh.
Oh
just
wait, no,
like,
I'm thinking of a different movie. This seems like something I'd like though. I love like 80s
Yeah, no,
crime thrillers.
I've never seen this. Pierce
80s
but
Brosnan.
crime thrillers is a oh
but
I love that guy's face. That main
yeah,
actor. He has such
Bob
a
Hoskins.
yeah, Bob Hoskins. He has such
it's
a
probably very typical for Tim. He probably sees it all over the place.
that's
Uh,
just your average I,
I may or may not have an uncle that looks like that. Yeah.
yeah.
but
Diego, you seen Hardcore?
but
Paul Sch-
yeah,
Paul
that's
Schrader?
basically 8 millimeter like version
Yeah, well,
one.
I watched them. I watched them both because I was like, I watched 8 millimeter and I liked it, and then people were like, it's just a worse version of hardcore. So I watch
Right.
hardcore, and I do think those people have a point, but I also think they're very different movies.
They
Like,
are very different
they're
movies.
very different, and I still think the monologue from The Machine in 8 millimeter is fantastic. Where he's just like what do you want me to say? You want me to say that like my dad molested me and my mom beat me? Like no, I had a great life. I had like I had great opportunities. I do this because I like it. I think that was like that
That's
was
well, that's the whole idea of the movie. Like that's
yeah
why that
yeah
movie
yeah
is, yeah,
yeah.
which is a great concept for a movie that I'm not like crazy about.
It's not a perfect movie, but I also do enjoy a very young what's his name oh God, what's the fucking actor's name? Holy shit!
Don't
Why am I?
Nicolas Cage?
No, I know Nicolas Cage. The other one, the Joaquin Phoenix.
Ah, yes.
I do love like a very young Joaquin Phoenix showing Nicolas Cage through the world of like
Yes. Yes.
extreme fetish pornography. Like that is like a very funny duo, right? Like taking
That's
him to like all the like weird sex like club things. Like that's
so
great.
so just so you know, that podcast that I told you about, the rewatchables, all their jokes and all the funny banter is basically them saying things like what you just said. like like,
Oh yeah,
like those are the ideas. Like a young Joaquin Phoenix showing Nicolas Cage
yeah,
to
yeah.
the world.
I'll check out the rewatchables.
Uh,
That sounds enjoyable. Okay, A Million Ways to Die in the West. I think I think we have I really loved your review of that movie when I watched it. And I think it was spot on that like it's not great, but it does have its funny moments. And if that became a regular thing where every few years Seth MacFarlane made like a movie that is like Seth MacFarlane doing Family Guy-esque humor in different historical situations, that would be like I would watch that regularly. You know what I mean? Like if something like that
right?
came out every few years, I would watch it even if they're not great. Like I
Yeah.
think I totally
How is that
agree.
not a thing?
Yeah.
That
You
it
didn't
wouldn't isn't
you
that
only
like
get
a Mel Brooks type of thing?
yeah, basically, yeah,
Yeah.
that is kind of what he did. I've seen a lot of his movies. That's maybe the most Jewish director that I do like. My dad showed me like Robin Hood, Men in Tights. I've seen Spaceballs a bunch of times, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein. Like I've seen all those.
You've never seen the one where he plays Hitler, right?
Oh, the producers, yeah, yeah, right.
No, 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 no,
Is
no.
that not the producers?
No. I couldn't believe this movie even exists. I'd never heard of it. Hold on. If you Google, there's a music video of Mel Brooks as Hitler singing rap in the 80s. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen.
Oh, I
Hold
really
on.
thought you were talking about Springtime for Hitler. Wow, I
No,
can't
man.
believe the producers came out in '67.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an older movie than I thought it
Yeah.
was.
By the way, we're
Springtime for Hitler.
the even when I Google it, what comes up is the producers. But I'm not talking about that movie. I'm talking about the '80s one.
Talking about something
Hold
else.
on. It's
Uh,
crazy. It's called To Be or Not to Be. What the? It's the most insane movie. I didn't even know it existed.
You know, another movie that I think we are both kind of on the same page about. I think I might have given it like 3.5, not 4. But No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence, I actually thought was like pretty good. That like maybe it's just because it like subverted my expectations so much. If I thought it was gonna be shit, and then it ended up like Diego, like didn't No Hard Feelings feel like a '90s comedy? Like it felt like a
Yeah,
'90s or
I
early
wanted it.
2000s comedy.
Yeah, I just like want these movies back. We
Yeah.
deserve it.
Yeah, that's like I honestly kind of couldn't believe that they made that. Like it felt so not of the current time of like
Right.
having that like as a have you
I'm
seen
like,
you seen Serial Mom?
Yes.
I love that movie with
I'll
Kathleen
never forget
Turner.
when she opens her legs in the courtroom.
Yeah, that's it's so good. So like that's a movie I saw that in theaters when they did a rescreening of it, and then I bought
Okay.
immediately bought the Blu-ray of it. Like I think I want to see more John Waters movies. Like I've only seen Serial Mom, and then I do love Pink Flamingos, of course. Um, and I've seen like I think multiple Maniacs, but I know he has so many more movies that are. Well, I'm surprised McZed didn't want to talk about movies. But dude, if fucking John Kidover is so mad at me for recommending Solo to him. He's he mentions it every time he sees my profile picture because that's what movie my profile picture is from. Um,
What?
besides besides Discovery, right? What is it so much that about this letterbox thing that fascinates you, like, or you derive value from? Is it like is it like more journaling, right? So you like distill your thoughts and crystallize it, and therefore it's like easier to remember what
oh
you
no,
think about
most of the time I don't even do a written review. Most of the time I just leave stars unless I really feel like I have something to say. Like I'll give it,
I
one.
always review.
I don't always review. It's two
But are you
purposes. One is
but
as a
do you
personal log, just so I can remember what movies I've seen, and then if I'm really thinking about movies that I really love, I can go back and I'll remember them and I can rewatch them. And then the other thing is like the social aspect of like when I go on the app and I see that Diego watched a movie, I make note of that. I'm like, oh, what are my friends watching? Or I'll watch a movie and review it, and then maybe some of my friends have also reviewed it, and then I'll be like, oh, I didn't know you saw that movie, and I can talk to them about it.
Tim,
But
this is what I watch it for. This is what I do it for. I do it number one so that my kids, if I pass away prematurely, if they're watching a movie, they can go, "Hey, did Dad watch
sure?
this? And did he leave a review?" Because I think that would be cool. Like
So
you
it's a
watch a
journal.
movie. Yeah, it's like a
we,
journal of
we
sorts.
know something that's nice is my dad is no longer with us, but
Ah,
he has he had this big binder. He didn't like collect movies like in the cases. He immediately threw out the cases and he just put the disc in a binder like sleeve thing, and I still have that, so I can look through and see all of the movies that he felt inclined enough to buy
there you go.
or keep, and I still have that, and I don't really watch them because they're DVDs, and I'm a, why would I watch a DVD quality thing? But I don't think I'll ever get
Have you
rid of
ever
that.
watched a VHS?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm not like I mean I'm 25. I'm 25. Like when I was younger, maybe like 0 when I was like
Bro,
maybe 5 or
DVDs came
6.
out in like 1998 or something like
I
that.
know, yeah, but VHS tape stuck around. Like I remember when I was young, we had a VHS player and we had like tons and tons of VHSs. We had like a big plastic bin of VHSs. Because my first handful of years of my life, I lived on like a horse farm, and we didn't
What?
have. Yeah,
A
I
fucking
lived
horse whisperer?
I
That's
lived on
like,
a
That is not
isn't
what
that
I
a
saw
Ben
coming.
Stiller joke in Meet the Parents?
I lived on a horse farm in Oregon, in Newburgh County, Oregon. So funny enough, so I hadn't thought of this place in years. I moved away from there when I was like 8, but a few years ago, I saw the name of the county pop up in a news article. This rural town in Oregon, and this town was in the news because in the elementary school that I went to, a faculty member got fired during they got fired because they showed up to the school wearing blackface, specifically dressed as Rosa Parks in order to protest the COVID vaccine mandates.
Wow.
And I was like, wait a minute, why does the name of this school sound familiar? And I was like, oh my God. But yeah, so anyway, we didn't have cable. So we had like a ton of VHSs, and I think we may have also had a DVD player, but like we still had a ton of VHSs from the previous medium. I remember what are the ones I actually remember specifically. For some reason we had the Mortal Kombat movie.
I actually like that movie.
I have a very distinct memory of us having that on VHS.
If only they could make
I'm
a
guessing I've
sequel to
watched
it, that
it.
would be awesome in a couple months.
I'm guessing I've
and
watched it, but I don't have a memory of it.
and I also remember All Dogs Go to Heaven we had on VHS.
Classic.
And then I remember I had the Elmo movie of like Elmo and Groucho Land, I think. I don't have you ever seen this movie?
No.
Okay,
But
so
Elmo came too late
so
for
so
me,
this is
for my
so
childhood.
here's what's insane about this, and I actually remember this, and I had to like go back and like look up clips of the movie because I was like, there's no way that they put this in this movie. So the premise of this, do you know who the character Groucho? So
Groucho, the
Groucho. So
what does
he,
he
he
look
he's
like?
he's
Just
a
give
he's
me
like a
a
little green hairy man, and he lives in a trash can. He's got like a
Oh,
he
no, no. Oh, you mean Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch. Yeah, that's what I meant. Oscar the Grouch. So
Is
so
that not Sesame Street?
Yeah, but that's
Elmo's
almost
Elmo's part of Sesame Street.
he took over Sesame Street,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. So so in this movie, Elmo like his blanket gets thrown out and it ends up in Groucho Land. That's why I remember Groucho Land.
Oh, I remember
Um
this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
And Elmo has to like go to Groucho Land to retrieve his blanket, and it's the fucking hood, and like most of the characters there have like ghetto accents. It's like the most insane thing ever. You're like, I can't believe they did this.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yes.
There's nothing ghetto about Grouch, Oscar himself, though.
I know, no, no, but I just, I
Oh my
just,
god.
maybe it's a false memory, but I feel like I remember looking up clips of it and being like, oh my God, this is clearly the hood. Um,
That's insane. That's insane. Speaking of cartoon things that shouldn't exist but do, you've got to watch Cool World and you got to watch god, what's his Fritz the Cat
oh yeah, yeah, I'm
from the
familiar. I'm
1970s.
I'm familiar with that.
That's an insane movie.
I have
Like
you.
it's completely sexualized like Disney style film.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. I
It's
watch.
X-rated, by the way.
Oh,
Yes, dude. Yes. This is
oh,
real. It's an X-rated cartoon of an animated cat. And it's by it, the character is created by Robert Crumb. Like
oh!
straight up, bro.
I know. Yeah, I know Robert Crumb. Oh,
Yeah, dude,
is it
yeah.
Is it actually? Like, it actually got an X rating.
It actually got an X rating, bro.
Surprising. It's well, I guess it used to be easier to get an X rating. I feel like now you got to like try pretty hard. I mean, I think I have a handful of movies in my collection that are X rated or
Did did
NC-17 or
any
whatever.
did your parents actually care about ratings and letting you watch films?
Oh, my mom did more than my dad, but my mom wouldn't let me watch certain movies, but also if my dad showed them to me, she wouldn't like get really upset. It would be like oh, come on, you shouldn't show him that. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like I don't know. I feel like that's like a very healthy like mom dad dynamic. You know what I mean?
My parents used to like go out of their way to like lie at the cinema to like get me into films that I shouldn't be.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you don't even have to. Like, I mean, actually, I don't know what the laws are in your country, but in the U.S., for movies that are just rated R, you can see them at any age if you're with an adult.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah, yeah,
No,
you
NC.
when
can.
it everything used to just be like PG or 18, but then
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah. It was no,
Yeah.
it was
it
it was the
it
era of like Jurassic Park is when they introduced like what is it 13 or
yeah,
whatever
so it
the
was
other.
for a while it was at first it was just G or R. General audiences
Mm,
were restricted. And then they
Yep.
added PG, which makes sense, parental guidance of like, hey, maybe and that's like movies like Airplane, where there's like some boobs and some crude humor, or maybe like mild violence. And then they added the PG-13, which I think is redundant. I don't think you need PG-13. I think PG, but now ratings don't even matter anymore because like with streaming, you could show anything. So then I
It
feel like the
was it
M.
was created for Temple of Doom. Why they created that rating.
Oh, that's interesting. Well,
Yeah.
there's a really if you want a cool documentary, there's a documentary called American Grindhouse, which is about like the history of like exploitation cinema. You know, like I don't know if you know like blood sucking hippie freaks and like Blood Feast and like these weird like 50s and 60s uh films that you know it was just how much like violence and sex can we put in a movie to make people interested in seeing it. um Interesting stuff. And what one of the more interesting things in this documentary was there were in like as early as like the 1920s and 30s there were traveling theater production companies that would like bring projectors and screens to different towns showing pornography, like hardcore pornography. And it was like under the guise of being like sexual education material.
Wow.
And I just imagine that. Imagine you're like a person in like the 1920s and somebody's like, yo, like these people are coming to town. They have these moving pictures. Like, you're not going to believe it. Like, yeah.
Or they had the 25 cent nudie shows that
Oh,
you would
yeah,
watch like
yeah,
just with your
yeah.
aunt. But
It
you
looks
know, the only movie that I ever had to, so I definitely went to a lot of R-rated films with my parents because I guess they decided I was mature enough to watch it. But the only time that I had to ask for like for help to get into a movie was when they re-released The Exorcist, the special edition in
really.
theater. Yeah. And my parents, all they didn't sit through it with me. They just helped me and my friend get into the movie. And we we uh we watched the movie and he couldn't make it. Like I mean he sat
Wow.
through the whole thing,
That's
but he
so,
had to close his eyes.
that's so
That's how,
funny.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
do you have you seen The Exorcist 3? Which really should be The Exorcist 2, but it's The Exorcist 3.
I heard about that. No, I haven't watched the sequels.
It's
Well,
so the second one isn't good. The second one is not worth watching, but the third one, it's the Exorcist is based on a book, um,
Mhm.
and the author of that book actually wrote a sequel to The Exorcist called Legion, and that is what the third Exorcist movie is based on. The third Exorcist movie is based on the sequel to the book, and he also, the writer of the movie, directed it, and it was his first movie ever directing, and he did a really good job with it.
I
Like
heard about that, yeah.
it's
imagine
actually.
seeing that movie as a Jewish kid, not knowing anything about the religion. It scared the fucking crap out of me.
you you know
I was like,
they Tarantino said that like the third or fourth Psycho movie is also very good,
The
which is
second one is
interesting.
considered to be very good. I actually have it on Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it yet. The
No, no,
second,
but there's also like a third or
I know
fourth
there's
one
a third or fourth. I
which is
just have.
like made for TV or something, and he said that
uh
one's good too.
Oh, interesting. I know that the second one
Yeah,
is actually considered to be like a good movie. I know that the
yeah.
premise of it is that Anthony, what, not Anthony Hopkins, whatever is it Anthony Hopkins?
No, it's not Anthony
No, it's not
Hopkins.
Anthony
It's
Hopkins.
Anthony
Perkins,
Perkins.
Perkins,
Yeah.
Anthony Perkins. So he like it takes place like 20 years later,
Q. I don't know how I remember that stuff. If Q's still
and
around.
he gets
listen
out of
to
like the
him.
mental institution and he's like reformed, and he's like trying to live a normal life, and for some reason some lady who has like a vendetta against him is like trying to make him go crazy again. And I'm like, that's a very interesting premise because it kind of turns him into the victim. Yeah, right. All right, I gotta get to
Hey,
bed because I want to.
by the way, we have wait before you leave. I have one
Yeah,
question for you. And
yeah.
by the way, we have four anons in the room. With Jesus Christ,
Mm.
uh, welcome to my world, Tim. Well, you've been gone.
Yeah,
Um,
Tim, where you been for all these months?
hold
Hiding
on,
from the
because
Anons.
I gotta ask a question really quickly. So I I bought my second UV 820 or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, there are straight up 4K movies that will not play on these motherfucking disc players.
Dude, the I so online
I
on Reddit and shit, people say that
Are
the
they regioned
820
like DVDs?
people say like the
no
820 so all 4Ks are supposed to be region free. Some Blu-rays, but then honestly, I buy some Blu-rays that are like technically regioned, but they still region locked, but they still work for some reason. So here's the funny thing. So everybody says that the 820 is like the best player that's not like $1,000. Okay. And
yeah
people say that my player, I have the Sony X700 or whatever, and people say that
okay.
this one's shit and it like freezes and it skips and stuff, and the other one's the best. I've never had any issues on mine. Like I have never had a movie that doesn't play. Every time I've had a movie that like freezes for a sec, it's always been because the disc is dirty and I clean the disc and then there's no issue. Um
Dude, they
and
say on the forums that I have to buy some kind of external disk like storage to because it's too won't handle it or something.
Oh, I don't know. It's
And
honestly, I think it's just if you bought it new, I would just return it, like and get a replacement. Like the quality control on them just isn't that good. Like that's the issue
okay,
of like everything
okay,
from everything I can tell, people say like you either get a good one with no problems or you
okay.
get a bad one with problems. It's just like a
What's the
quality.
manufacturer? What brand is this?
Panasonic.
His is Panasonic, mine's Sony. But honestly, dude, you know what I think the best player is in terms of stability and not having issues is the fucking next gen consoles. Like I have a PS5 and sometimes I'll watch movies on that and my friend has a PS5. When I go over to
Really?
his place, we'll
I
watch
thought I
movies.
thought that'd be sacrilege to say, but I've heard people saying that where they just instead of buying a player, they just buy a
Yeah, well, I
PlayStation.
mean, think about it like this: the fucking the player that Diego has,
It's the price of it.
the 820 is, I think it's you can get it on sale for like 350. I think that's like the sale price. I think retail's like 400.
Yeah.
Um, so for an extra $100, I mean, how much is the regular PS5 with the disc
No,
drive going
I
for you?
have a PS5,
Dude,
but
okay, yeah. So here's the thing. So the issue is that the PS5 can't play. I mean, it can play.
HDR10.
Yeah, it can't do HDR10 or Dolby Vision. It can only do regular HDR. Although I don't think it makes that much. I'm gonna be so for real. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. And there is like a real serious school of thought that says that like HDR10 and Dolby Vision don't actually really matter, and that HDR is all actually made up, and like it's it's a whole rabbit hole if you want to go down that rabbit hole. But if I told myself that if my Sony ever starts giving me issues, I'm not getting another 4K player. I'm just going to use my PS5. Like I don't
Okay.
care. I don't care enough about HDR10 and Dolby Vision. Like it doesn't. And here's the thing. So counterintuitively, that matters even less if you have a really nice TV. Like if you have a really nice TV, watching stuff in regular HDR is like more than adequate. Like it is, you're talking like maybe a like it's not even necessarily an improvement. It's just a little bit different.
Okay.
So that would be my advice. Or if you want to go the other ways, I mean, people do like the magnetars, like that shit's like $2,000. I don't think it's worth it. I think like just using the PS5 and well, what TV do you have?
I have a QHD Samsung. Just
Is
like
it
I don't know exactly which model it is, but
you have it? Is it an OLED or no? It's not.
that's a good question. I do think it is an OLED. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Because if you
Yeah.
have like a good OLED from the last few years, like I don't. Wait,
It
here,
has
you know,
issues. They
Diego. Oh, you then
yeah.
you should upgrade. You should get like I'm a
You
big
know,
fan. Yeah,
okay, so when you buy these TVs, right?
yeah.
The biggest problem that these TVs have, and I haven't found anything that fixes this, is that they have the HDR, I think it's the HDR, is problematic. In other words, there's no consistency in brightness. These things sometimes it'll go bright and then it'll go dark. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, that's I don't I mean people like on the if you go on like the forums and stuff, the Samsung TVs are generally pretty poorly regarded. Like almost nobody recommends the Samsungs. Like everybody
Really?
recommend. Yeah, yeah.
I
Everybody
thought they're
really
like kind of like the gold standard of like,
no,
oh, you want.
absolutely not.
Okay,
The
so what's my next TV? Not that I need one right now. Is gonna be what brand then?
Sony.
either Sony or LG. I think those
Okay,
are the Sony Bravia series, like the Sony. What are they at now? Like the Sony Bravia 9, I think.
okay. I'm willing to
Uh,
change because the reason I got into Samsung uh is because, well, it's a long story, but this current generation, I'm talking in the last 6 or 7 years,
yeah.
they have very, very good and responsive menus. Then
So
that is
okay, well,
important too.
that's not important at all because what you should be doing is using an Apple TV or a Nvidia Shield. Like all TV UIs
Yeah,
suck,
yeah.
but
All
you should.
TVI, but no, but at least the Samsungs now are like, dude, I mean, I know it's not much, but when you move into a new house and you don't have like, cable yet or whatever it is, I haven't had cable in 20 years, but you know what they have like built-in TV channels.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
So
can watch a
okay,
movie like quickly, like you can just get something going.
so the two TVs that I would be looking at if you want truly top of the line, it would
Yeah.
be the Sony Bravia 8
Okay.
or the LG G5. Those are the personally, I think the best value is the LG C series. Like it's not quite as bright as the G series, but honestly, it's like it's still like blindingly bright. Like when I'm watching movies at full brightness in the dark and it's a scene that's really bright, it like almost hurts my eyes. So I can't imagine it me wanting it to be much brighter. The only thing that's nice about the
I,
G is it's just like paper thin. But Tim's right too that like the Sonys are also the Sony OLEDs are also super highly regarded. So I don't think you could go wrong with either option. I'd say depending on how much money you want to spend, like
These days, not over
what's
2 grand.
okay, yeah. What size are you looking at? Like a 77?
So I think I have a 70 right now or a 75.
Okay, yeah.
So
So if you wanted,
yeah,
you
I
can.
have a 75. I have a 75. Yeah.
Okay, then so I think for you, if you're under 2 grand, definitely the LG C5 77 inch.
Okay.
That will go on sale. I mean, right now you can get the same one I have, the C4 77 inch from PC Richard. I see it right now for 1600.
Okay.
Uh, and right now, the 77-inch C5 is like 2500, but towards the end of the TV cycle, when they start to go on sale, which is usually like a month before Black Friday, or sometimes they have good deals at like 4th of July time. I think I remember seeing the C4's 77-inch for like 1600 or so.
Okay.
I got my 65-inch C4 for 1100, I think.
Okay.
Um, but right now it's
Tim
like 2500.
Tim has like a ridiculous amount of computers. I would imagine he might have a good home system, but
not a screen actually, but I'm not a, but I have a nice 5.1 surround sound system. So like I'm not, like I don't think this is gonna make huge differences to the overall experience. It's like good enough. But actually, I don't have these sort of nerdy discussions about tech for film anyway much. But I thought actually one of the you kept talking about like how bright it was. I thought one of the things like to measure was actually the how dark the dark is, right?
Oh yeah, well
Basically, right?
with an
yeah.
OLED you have 100% contrast. Like the black is true black. It's just black. So the
It's like
OLEDs, I think.
I've never personally found on any TV, whether it's back to old school plasma or whatever, that brightness is an issue.
Well,
In general.
brightness is good for like contrast and stuff.
Sure.
Like my TV's like bright as fuck. So when I have a scene like the flamethrower scene in The Thing, where you have a really dark background and it's like nighttime, and then you have like a light source, that shit just jumps out of the screen because it is so bright in those areas where it's bright. And then because it's an OLED, the dark areas are completely dark, and there's no like haloing, where like there's no light where there shouldn't be outside of the thing that's light. So Diego, I'm telling, yeah, if you want under 2 grand, 77 inch,
I would be
the
more
C5 is going to be
I'd
your
be more
TV.
inclined
Yeah.
to, if you haven't got it already, to like use that budget for like what is your audio setup?
I have a Pioneer. I think it's called the Elite.
But you
Um,
have something, right? Because it's not you're
yeah,
not just
yeah.
listening. You're not listening to the speakers out of the actual
No, no,
TV.
I got like
Yeah.
each speaker is like a grand. I think it's a
Oh, so
Okay.
you
tower.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh, so
and
you
it's
have
got
like a legit
Dolby Atmos. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
sweet.
and they're
Because that's the
and it's
biggest. That's the biggest like bang for buck. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
yeah,
think I think it, I think
ROI
it's
on the experience. I think
yeah,
it's
yeah,
I do think it's an I would agree it's a very it's a very
underappreciated.
neglected it's a very
Yeah.
neglected thing. Like it's much more common for people to have a really nice TV than to have a really nice sound system. And
Or they've
it's
got some built-in sound bar in the fucking
oh
stand or
yeah,
some
shit
bullshit.
sounds awful. It shit sounds terrible. Like people are like actually, this happens a lot, Tim, where like people will come over and I'm a nerd and like if they're interested, I mean it's all in my living room. They'll be like, "Wow, that's a lot of like speakers and stuff." So I'll like demo my TV and speakers if they're interested with like, a
Well,
good
you're not as
seat.
bad as going over to someone else's house and changing their TV settings, are you?
Well,
No.
sometimes. I
yeah.
mean, if there's
Turn off
shit,
that
yeah, if
smooth
their
frame
shit's
rate.
fucked, I will. Like, if they have like the motion, and I mean, I'll always ask. But I'll be, like, hey, like, your TV settings could be better. You have like motion interpolation on, and it's like adding frames that aren't there, and like it's making everything look weird, and like your screen looks blue. I don't know if you realize this, but it's blue tinted, and the
Yeah.
the and the sharpness is turned up for some reason, and your shit's fucked, bro. But so yeah, I am that bad. But people when they see my system, they'll always be much more impressed by the sound than the TV because I think
Yeah.
everybody's
Oh yeah.
everybody's been to Best Buy and seen a really nice TV, but like not that many people have actually sat in the middle of like a well calibrated 5.1
And
sound system.
you know
But then
what's
how
bad?
can you say that and then not appreciate a big classical movie score, right? Like it's
Wait,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's true. But you know what's stupid about people don't understand that? The sound system part is like buy once, cry once. If you buy a good one,
oh
dude, I've had my system for over 10 years
This is
yeah.
true.
and
This
it's
is
like
true.
great.
Yeah, I mean, my speakers are from like I think like probably like 2005, 2008. I bought them used. My receiver is a new receiver though. My receiver came out I think in like 2018 or 19. But yeah, that's 100% true. Like you do not like passive speakers, the technology just like doesn't doesn't
Let me ask you this.
change. Yeah.
Why does it not matter what decade I'm in? If I buy a receiver, it still has like they try to put lipstick on a pig, but the settings is still a fucking nightmare, bro.
No, I
Decade
think
after
no,
decade
no,
after
it's no,
decade.
the new ones are so much easier to use. Like the new ones, they have like on-screen menus. They come with a microphone that automatically
Yeah, no, no,
calibrates
dude, I have
everything.
that. Dude,
Yeah, yeah,
I bought a system not that long ago because
yeah.
my other one fried out. But
What do you have a Denon? Like, do you have the what do you have
no, I
a
have the
what?
Pioneer Elite. I have to
Oh,
have a
okay, yeah.
Dolby Atmos compatible.
Well, wait, why do you need Dolby
Receiver.
Atmos? Do you have like overhead speakers?
No, my tower has speakers on the top of it, which will
Oh,
reflect
that
the
yeah,
sound.
that's you got fake Atmos, fake Atmos.
Well, yeah, because I didn't want to get the full like surround
You didn't want to
speakers on
install
like
a CL. I'm not
yeah.
going to go that far either. I'm very happy with my 5.1. But yes, Diego, your next TV should be the LG C5. I think you would be extremely happy with
That
that.
that's probably what Tim doesn't know, which is Tim, I bet you don't have a center channel. That will
Well, yeah,
change your
yeah, he
life.
does. I mean, if he has a 5.1, but he said he has like a Bose 5.1.
Isn't that faux
Bose. Well,
5.1?
you know what they say about Bose? No highs, no lows. Must be Bose.
Dude,
Yeah, sorry. No, I inherited my system, so I can't take any credit for personally. It's Acoustimas
Yes, the
something.
Acoustimas, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are it's better than what a lot of people have, but those drivers are rather small. Like I think the drivers on those are only like they're a little bit larger than like the ones that are in sound bars. Whereas like I think my
Yeah,
on my
it's
like
not. It's not. Yeah, for me, it's like actually having the surround sound is like what I meant by like the adding to the
oh
experience. You know,
yeah, yeah,
that's what people think.
definitely. But in terms of like the sound quality and clarity, though, having like big speakers, you just like can't replicate large drivers moving a lot of air. Like I
yeah.
think my bookshelf speakers, I think the drivers are all like 5 inches or six
I know,
inches.
like, but we're not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been into like a client's house and their fucking speakers are like 100 kilos each type thing. You know, it's like um monstrosities sitting in like they're like
Yeah, diminishing
it's
returns.
about bang for buck, right? Almost or whatever. You know, it's like
Yeah.
the you know 80% of the benefit for 20% of either the
Yeah.
size, right? Like the system is very discreet, right? It's not.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm very proud. I bought my entire audio system secondhand on Facebook Marketplace, and I spent around $500 for like
Wow.
a 2,500 $3,000 system.
That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, the Aprion 5.1. I it was just some like older couple that was moving across the country, and they just like didn't want to take it with them. They sold it to me for $250.
Nice.
Like perfect condition, beautiful like wood speakers. I love them. But yeah, yeah, that should be your next. Yeah, so many people like it honestly annoys me on like the 4K subreddit. Like people will always ask like, "Oh, I have a PS5 or I have an Xbox Series X. Like, should I get like a dedicated 4K player?" And my reaction is always like, no, you should not. Like you should spend that $400 on fucking Blu-rays or upgrading your TV or upgrading your sound system. Like and unless you are fully maxed out in those other areas, like I think it's not at all worth it. Like like the only reason I got a player is because I didn't have a PS5 at the time, and I got it at a thrift store for like $10. So
When, but now I will tell you one thing. I went when I was in New York at my parents' restaurant. I met a guy that take it for what you will, but he claimed to be basically an early employee of Microsoft, and so he was like retired and 50 plus, and he had like a cute wife or whatever. Anyway, long story short, he took me to his apartment and showed me his like $100,000 sound system. $100,000. And I didn't think it was much more impressive than mine, but maybe I can't tell, or I don't know I don't know what
well,
sounds to look for.
that's what I mean by like
You
it's
know?
not even 80/20, but it's like hugely diminishing
There's,
returns. Like
I think
every,
there's huge
it's
Yeah.
like
diminishing returns after like, I think after like 10 grand, you're not.
Or he didn't know how to present. Like maybe he didn't have the proper. Maybe he had the speakers, but he didn't have the proper
So
receiver or something.
well, it's probably it could be that, but also it could be like acoustic treatment of like ultimately it's the
Yeah.
sound that's going to be
Yeah.
bouncing around your room, and
You
if
know
your
what?
room
Yeah,
is
it
shaped
wasn't a sound.
poorly.
Yes, yes. It wasn't a sound. It was just an apartment. It was not a place designed for
oh yeah, it
sound.
wasn't a good
Correct.
Yeah, well,
space.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
people are always talking about like upgrading their sound systems when they really should be upgrading their fucking room. Like
Right,
I
right.
I would not like I with my current system in my apartment or whatever with like fucking brick walls, like I could get better speakers and it probably won't sound that much better. Like
Right.
especially
Right.
at the higher end of and they also say like there's a rule of thumb that you need if you want to have a perceptible difference in your upgrade, you basically have to spend 2x. Like if you have $1,000 system and you want to be able to tell the difference, you have to upgrade to a $2,000 system. And if you have a $5,000
Yeah,
system, you need to
that's
upgrade
where.
to a
Yeah,
$10,000 system.
but the noticeable difference
Wow.
each time probably halves, right? So Like
Oh yeah,
every tier you go above, it's like, okay, I got a 20% benefit. The next time, well,
yeah,
it's 2x in price, but now it's a 10%, and the
yeah,
next time it's
yeah.
2x that, right? So it's like,
Oh, but I think for me, I think like 10 grand is probably where I put. I don't know why you'd be spending more than 10 G's on a sound system. I mean, I think that is
like
like
watches, people just do it because they're
like that's probably. I mean, because then it's
Dude,
like you
people
could be
do
putting more
retard
money into
shit,
like
man.
your then you
No,
could be putting more money into like your acoustic treatment of the
dude,
room. You know.
I met an illegal Mexican in New York that was working in construction who bought himself a $10,000 fucking like it was a like a Tour de France bike. Like why? Don't you want to just enjoy riding a bike? Then why do you want to be on one of these things that like gives you like prostate cancer and like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
well,
why?
also, if you're in like a city, there's a good chance someone will steal your bike. So you,
Seriously. But you know what I'm
um,
talking about? What are these speed bikes?
yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know
I know
people
what you're-
into that, and they're nuts, or they're retired and they got a lot of money or whatever. But like my first and only actual bike was Specialized Tarmac. It's carbon fiber frame. It
Okay,
weighs like
Specialized
six
is the
kilos.
company. Yeah, that's what he.
Oh yeah,
That's what he had. Yep. Yep.
yeah. But guys, like, but the difference between my Specialized Tarmac, I can't remember what like the model level. Well, the model is it's called a Tarmac. Um, I remember it's like it's not sport or whatever it's called,
I didn't
but
know you
there
were
are
a
the ones which
biker.
are like SL something, right? They're like where mine was like 1600 secondhand, right? These things are
Right.
like 6 grand, 8 grand, and it's just like marginally better or limited edition paintwork or some bullshit. Like,
Right.
no, there's no like when something weighs 6 kilos, like it can't weigh 10% less, right? So it's like it's so marginal any benefit from the higher end models of this or versions of
Tim,
the same model. So I
but
think it's really good.
Tim,
All
you
right,
want to go really fast on a bicycle
I
or
know
what?
I'm always a big fan of like getting like almost the same
all right.
benefit, if
I'm
not the
gonna get
same,
going. Good
for
night.
like
All
the
right.
very
Good night
beginning.
now.
It's like probably why I have an Audi Q7 and not a Porsche Cayenne.
But Tim, you want to go really fast on a bicycle?
How's he going?
Yeah, he had to leave. You want to go really fast on a bicycle or what? I'm not criticizing. Just like, is that a thing? You never told me
Do I
this side
want
of
no?
you.
Oh, I sold it. No, I've sold it, and then since I sold it, um, because it sucked because it it's like golf, right? It's such a time sink. I love golf, but like it's minimum 4 hours. Well, the problem with
Yeah.
going out on the bike is the way that I'm wired anyway, which is fine in the beginning when you're getting up to speed. It's like, okay, I'll go out for 5 miles, 10 miles, 15 miles, 25 miles. Next thing you know, you're going out for 50 miles, right? And then you want to go out for 100-mile day with your friend. It's like it takes all day. And you want to continuously push the boundaries. I do anyway, the way that I'm wired. I need to get into something like pool, something that's like I can put. It's like the game can be minutes or whatever. It's like I can like stop it and leave it and come back to it or whatever. And like it doesn't take a minimum half of my day. Um, and then a good friend of mine. Well, that's a stretch. A a person I've known for a very long time, and it turned out that I went to school with his brother, so we didn't know this. And he went to school with my sister. My sister went to a different school than I did, and whatever, vice versa. Um, Kind of fairly near to me, he got killed on his bike. So like, yeah, I think that ship has sailed. I'll never cycle on the road again. There's too many fucking non-whites on the road.
What about private piloting?
Uh, the reason I don't do that is if I lived in America, 100%. But there's just basically where I live is too small. There's no. It's like even when like when I like I used to fly drones for a living. I came home. I never flew them once. Right? It's like because I didn't. There was no purpose to it. So I don't know what the purpose would be for me to have a private pilot license. There's no like, oh, guess what? I can like just like there's a lot of general aviation, as it's called, right, in the U.S., where people will even travel by their own aircraft, or they'll go out like public lands in like I've watched it quite a bit of stuff of like guys with stall or bush planes and stuff like that doesn't exist here. There's nowhere you could go and do that. Everything is like some fucking farmer's field or something, or you get in trouble,
Oh, I
or
see.
it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
there's no, or like, oh, maybe I fly my bush plane out into the remote area so we can go shooting, or well, there'd be no use for it, and it's like um it's something I'd love to do if I lived in the US. Put it this way, like there's no one in this fucking country, although there's a bit of snow on the ground. I was just going to use this example. There's no one in this country that owns a fucking like snowmobile, right? Because there's nowhere to take one, right? Well, like very, very, very few people fly here per capita, like versus California, which I think has like the highest per capita of private pilots in the world or something. Right? I think you mentioned that before.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
80% of of those are like flying in Southern California. Yeah.
so like there's so much like you can do in California or in the neighboring states, right? Which is all very accessible when you're flying. There's nothing like that here,
Right.
really.
And,
And
and you know,
England's
and
the
you know,
fucking
the airports here are
thing,
subsidized.
huh?
The airports are subsidized, meaning like a hangar can be as low as $200 a month, even though it'll store like a gigantic airplane inside.
Where
Did you know?
you
I don't know.
are?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
So
wow.
you can,
Well,
so anyone
two
who
hundred
has a,
bucks rent in California.
yeah, yeah.
Holy
No,
shit.
so basically these guys, these boomers, right? They have a plane in there. They have like two or three
Oh,
classic
they'll like
cars parked.
share.
No, no, no. They'll each have their own hangar, and they'll have it, the hangar's so large that they have like their classic cars installed.
Oh
They
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
like they have
Oh,
like a bar.
there's probably no one like that here that has a fucking hangar where they put their classic cars in. They have a fucking like nice leather sofa in the corner and like
Yes,
whatever
yes,
and a little
exactly.
not none like listen to me. That's like vision board stuff for me, right? Yep, it doesn't exist here. And even if you did, it would be like meaningless or purposeless because there's no one else that does that. No one else you could really enjoy it with, and there's nowhere you could go and take that plane or helicopter realistically. Um, which sucks. It really sucks. There's a guy that I love watching. His name's Mike Pady, on YouTube, and he uh, does a lot of like custom. He like builds his own experimental aircraft, right? Like extending the wings or like turbopropping something that wasn't turbopropped, or and
Wow.
I love watching it, right? And like I fucking love their fucking hangars. Their hangars are insane, right? Um, basically like you could live in these things, upstairs apartments with granite
Actually, I know
worktops
some
and
guys that do
kitchens.
live in them.
Yeah, right. This is like, or there's even another YouTuber that I used to follow is into cars, and he used to store his some of his cars in a hangar that was like a friend's or something, and it was just like, and I had this like full built-in two-story apartment inside the fucking hangar. Like
Yep, yep.
you know, hey bro, like if I get divorced and had to move, like I'd go live in my hangar. Yeah, sure, but like there's no those things don't exist here, so it's like
What about people living on boats? Do they do that over there?
strangely yes, but the only people that actually live on boats are it's funny because I have a small experience, let's just say, working in a marina.
Okay.
Uh, some of the only people that actually live on boats in reality, this may have changed in recent years because there's, sort of more of this more nomad and van life type fucking like existence. Plus, house prices are went through insane. But like 20 years ago, when I worked for like 9 months in a marina, the people who lived on boats are basically um,
Drunkards?
not yes, like there was this guy in particular I'm thinking of him and his like kind of I don't know his woman or whatever. He was like a fucking taxi driver slash drunk, and like his missus was like the registered owner of the boat, but the government you know, instead of paying like rent because I don't know if she was on disability or whatever the fuck it was, but the government paid their birthing fees for the fucking boat. So there's quite a bit of that going on. So there's like people that should be like broke living in some like ghetto area. Not that I live in a ghetto area or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like on like what do you call it? Something housing. What do you call it? Social housing or something,
We call
right?
it Section 8 here.
Well, yeah, whatever. Like so basically the government pays their birthing fees instead.
Wow.
Like so that's there's those people. So those boats never leave the marina.
Right.
right? Like they literally
They
just
just
live on the fucking thing.
they're hardwired into the marina, and that's where
Yeah,
they can live. Yeah.
yeah, never goes anywhere. They literally just live there, right? And then there's some fucking dodgy deal like where the man lives there but he isn't registered, whatever the fuck some shit like that. But so yeah, but it's not like California where it's like, oh, I'm gonna like. There's no pontoon boats like you, or there's no fucking barge, fucking living or some shit like this. There's no weird. Oh, do you know what there is in England? Those like canal boats. Those are fucking weird people. Um, there's like a canal which broke its banks and fucking some big deal recently in England. Um, but these like long thin boats, that's like a thing. People would live on these. But they're
Okay.
basically yeah, like almost like old age
Let,
pensioners. They're the unfuckables of society. They're borderline homeless. But yeah,
well, let me ask you a question about before I forget about working on a marina. Women that work at marinas, mega whores.
no, it wasn't that big enough for Marina, and the weather
Okay.
sucks. So like, there's just like old women in the office.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Because in marinas in California, we have like
oh,
young pussy. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, and then there's all the fucking crews. The young
Yeah.
19-year-old who's like trying to do a gap year and work a fucking summer or a season on a fucking yacht. Wearing
Yep.
some simpy little fucking tennis dress or something. Like continuously little white tennis dresses. Clearly not being hired for their capability, but their aesthetic.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's 100%.
I think you need to come to
Yeah,
California, man.
yeah. Tell me about it, bro. Fucking tell me about it. By the way, did I tell you that I have potentially? I could start a third one, but I basically have two fucking lawsuits of my own now.
Here we go.
Yeah, fucking.
Wait, you
Um,
could have a third one?
Yeah, well, I'm fucked off with GoDaddy. I bought something and they give me a canned response and try to walk back the seal. And their canned response
Ooh.
basically is they've tried to use this like as a get out of jail free card, but they fucked themselves because they said that they don't know who the owner is, but they are the registrar of the domain. I'm like, this is like they've tried to walk back the seal because I guarantee you it got misadvertised for the wrong price, and they seller has basically refused to sell it and to save face or whatever, or like their generic get out of jail free card is, oh, we don't have the details of the owner or some shit like this, right? But yet it's fucking they are the registrar, so that's impossible. Of course they have the fucking details. And it's not that I think I could get the domain. It would be more the point that like by simply just either threatening them or literally taking them for like $200 to the small claims court. Like it's going to cost them a couple thousand just to
Right.
show up, even if they quote unquote win. So the threat of like actually going, I was kind of gaming this theory out back and forth with the GPT. I like doing like something with GPT and then take it, and I'll ask it to give me a summary, and I'll go and take it and use it in Grok, and then like stress test it with another one, right?
Right.
Um, and yeah, both of them kind of thought that, like I'm not going to quote unquote get the domain, but like I'll probably more likely get like a credit, as I shut the fuck up and go away. And that they would
Yeah.
be extremely foolish to like try and close my account because then that would look be as they were trying to punish me. Which again I could then actually really sue them for something or whatever. But basically it's like I can spend $200 and fuck you up for a couple grand, or you can just give me a couple grand and I'll go away quietly. Basically, I was thinking about being, a Jew, bro. Um, so,
Oh, dude.
but the other ones, uh, I'll not talk about, with all the fucking anons, because it's it's no,
I
I'll
don't think
tell
it's
you.
John, by the way. It can't be John. I mean, why would he be paying
That
dollars per account?
was you're in the Matrix.
I was saying, why would John be paying for multiple memberships? I mean,
It's not.
that's
It's not. It's not him. I looked at his streamer.
Okay.
I looked at his stream earlier,
Okay.
and
So
he's
we,
like reading to
but
himself, and there's like 5 other phones with different rooms on his desk, which you can see.
well, I can tell you these are regular anon accounts based on their emojis.
I have no idea. Look, no, I'm
Like the
literally look. I'm not gonna. I'll happily tell you. In fact, I'd almost look forward to tell you because it's so funny how they fuck themselves. Right? If you get into some kind of multi-year lawsuit where you drag out and it's like it cost a fucking fortune. No, it actually turns out that there's a very simple, well, like designed path. Right? Like Parliament passed this insolvency law of like 1986, right? Or the Insolvency Act, right? So basically, okay, I'll try and be very generic with what I'm saying. I am not pursuing a whole amount of what I'm owed. I'm going to pursue X, entity for a smaller amount because it's specifically it's indisputable, right? So like I have enough evidence between
uh-huh.
contracts, emails, not just confirmations, reconfirmations later when like, and also like they could make an argument about like a rogue director, like, oh, well, this director made all these authorizations and we weren't aware. No, multiple directors, there's only two of them, 50-50 owners, have both confirmed like type thing. So it's like, they're fucked. It's indisputable, right?
Okay.
That this smaller amount is owed, right? Because frankly, this doesn't it doesn't really matter for this what the total amount is in theory, right? Um, and basically, you would go through the normal process of like, which I had literally have to send one tomorrow morning, which will be 7 days overdue, right? So on the 22nd, oh god, no, bro, let's just go into a normal. Let's go into a fucking room. I'll tell you. I'll tell because
All
it's
right.
you'll appreciate this, right? You'll really appreciate this.
All right.
Okay, okay.
You want to do Clubhouse or you want to do something else? I don't know.